Before I start, I just want to say, I just want to thank Savo for this great opportunity. Once in a lifetime, it feels like. Thank you, Savo. Link in the description to his channel, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Savo. But anyways, Sly Cooper, it's one of Sony's great all-time PlayStation mascots. Debuted for the PS2 in 2002 in the September. Had 3 installments on that PS2, all required and all great, pretty solid, great reviews. And had one installment, the 4th game called Thieves in Time, on the PS3. And it's basically my favorite franchise of all time, and one of the greats in the community for sure. And today we're gonna be looking at his 2nd installment, Sly 2: Band of Thieves. And in this, before I get started, this game is just so amusing to me. But the reason I love this game is more than just the gameplay, the graphics. Sly Cooper himself, it's like nostalgia. Let me tell you a quick story before we basically get real started. When I was about 6, I'm 13 now, so about 7-8 years ago, I bought this PS2 off of my cousin, and that PS2 changed my entire life when it came to gaming. Sly 2: Band of Thieves was one of the games that I got, why I got the PS2. My brother saw it, I looked at it, it looked colorful, it looked good. I'm like, let me give this a try, this game looks pretty dope. My brother put it in. As soon as he put it in, I just fell in love with it, it seemed like, I guess you could say. He played it, he basically beat the first level of it, played the heck out of it, and I really, truly did love it, and I actually didn't get to play it until the 2nd level. But boy, did I want to play it when I first saw it. Just the nostalgia to it just makes my heart feel warm inside. But we're going to be looking at a couple different pieces. The start from the game, the intro, as you guys just saw, is really, really dope. Probably the best intro you would definitely find in the Sly Cooper franchise, and one of my favorite intros in gaming. It follows the story of what happened the last game. If you didn't see the last game, you definitely will recommend it's a good first installment into this iconic franchise. It basically just got started what it really has become. Because Sly 2 is way different, ladies and gentlemen, from Sly 1. And it changed the entire landscape of the franchise. Same with Jak 2, and it did to Jak and Daxter, The Pursuit Legacy. If you play that game, and if you play Jak 2, boy, you would look at the major differences. Yeah, anyways, just love the intro. The intro is like truly amazing. It amuses me. It gets the game introduced in a great way. The voice acting in this game is top notch for 2004 level voice acting. You gotta love it. If you look at this voice acting
This is Peking Duck. I hear you, Blizzard.
compared to Sly 1's voice acting,
Sly, come in! Sly, do you read me?
Yeah, I read you. Loud and very loud.
like, it's just way more calming. And I gotta give props to the voice actors throughout the entire franchise. Kevin Miller as Sly Cooper topped it, man. Gotta give you props. Your dark type of voice really does fit the character of Sly Cooper. Really great voice acting. Carmelita, she has really great voice acting. As if you guys don't know this or not, she has 4 different voice actors in the entire franchise. And I would definitely agree and say that the 2nd one is definitely the best one. But the story basically of this game, it's really simple. It's a really nice story. Basically, Sly's a part of a long-line thieving family. I'll give a good example. If you guys watch basketball, like the Curry brothers, how their dad started off, then literally Steph Curry took on the generation and literally basically brought it to its extent. It's not like that for Sly Cooper, but he's from a long line of family thieves, and it's been going on for generations and generations. And he's such a skilled thief that but he's like one of the well-known thieves other than his dad, Connor Cooper, to have a gang consist of more than himself. Other than of course Celine Acaparo in Sly 4, who had about 40-something thieves, but that's besides the point. But like, the story is well based. Like, they're looking for the clockwork parts after the events of Sly 1, because Sly 1 had, at the end, the entire like evil boss of the series, I guess you could say, is called Clockwork. It's this giant owl who's basically hated the Cooper clan, and jealousy is what kept him alive for years and years. He's basically just a metal owl, and I really wish they explored him more. I wish that, you know, he was basically the main boss in this, but he kind of is, because the main bosses, I guess you could say, is a gang called Claw Gang. Shout out to Savo's tattoo, by the way. But it's called Claw Gang. There's consists about five or four members. This consists of 8 episodes in this game, basically 8 levels. And this has like a comic book type of feeling, like the cutscenes. And this game has a comic book type of feeling. You know, the way that it sounds, the way that it is, like, you know, you could say that, you know, Sly Cooper's basically, his storyline is like kind of like Batman or Spider-Man. And he had to in Sly 1, he had to basically revenge his family. Him as a little boy, his family got killed by the previously bad guys in Sly 1, the Fiendish Five. And he basically just got revenge. It's basically like Batman with his story, and the same with Spider-Man. It's a really good story, and just it makes Sly Cooper, you know, not really as a reminiscence of a Saturday night cartoon, but more of a comic book type of art style. You know, as I said, the game can be goofy sometimes, so it's really dark, and it's probably as dark as Jak and Daxter, but it's way more darker than Ratchet and Clank. 100% I'll give it that. But like, it was crazy as like the Claw Gang, as I said, it's gonna pop up in a minute, but Dimitri, a lizard who's basically one of my favorite bosses in the franchise, who's pretty iconic in himself, and I think all us Sly Cooper fans know who Dimitri is. Just the storylines, how people got to it, like how like the Claw Gang basically became the Claw Gang is really amusing. You know, I see an art comic book like style, just you gotta love it. And what really amuses me, like Dimitri basically was kind of like Hitler in a certain way, who like was a painter, who basically got fraud, and basically became evil at the end. It's really cool, because like Dimitri is not the best boss when it comes to evilness and that type of thing, but boy, what a boss, and what iconic this level is. This is probably my favorite level of the game. I love in this game there's levels. There's a type of like mission impossible type of thing going on as a gang, and each mission matters. Like as you would see, like you basically gotta like find a way to get to the point where you have to battle the boss. And each mission that you do, each and every one matters to get to that point. That's what I really love about this game. Like it matters, it's realistic, and every mission matters. It's iconic. Like you just love it. The reviews on it is pretty insane. It got 9.2 out of IGN and 88 on Metrical. It really did good. It sold 2 million cells in 2004. That's really good for its time, and it's my favorite game of all time. Just what a game this is. And just we're getting in the first level right now. It's just so iconic. And this first level is about Paris. It is truly is iconic. Look at the art style. Look at the bosses. Like there's 3 type of different bosses. There's like a skinny, lanky one, I guess you could say, that like goes around. And just basically is like there's 3 different types of bosses, you know. There's like the flashlight guards are one of them. There's a call out guard, basically a guard that like calls out, like basically there's different types of guards. They're all basically relatively the same throughout the second game. They're pretty hard. Like if you compare this game to last game, the difficulty is really up there. It truly is. The difficulty is super hard. Like especially if you replay Sly 1 first, then you go to Sly 2, it's gonna make you think a little bit how different this game is. It truly is. It's really hard. Instead of horseshoes in the first one, you get a health bar now. Instead of bosses being one hit, they're about 3 to 4 to 5. Sucker Punch really did a great job with this, ladies and gentlemen. They truly did. This really changes the entire peak of Sly 1 in merely not even that long into playing in the game. This continues with Sly's story. This makes Sly's story better. And there's bottles in this. The bottles are way more thought out. They're way more hard. There's only 30 this time for each level. They're scattered around the place. And each level, each time you get it and get all 30 bottles, you unlock a vault. Same as the last one, I guess you could say, in Sly Cooper 1. But the power moves and the power-ups are way more useful and way more better. Don't get me wrong, you can definitely beat the game 100% without it. And it's, but like they are helpful in some ways. Some of them are. Some of them are just to attack. Some of them are just like cool to have, I guess, or just cool to have all of them if you're like me. If you get like one of the ones in the 3rd level, when you battle the 2nd boss, Rajan, oh, that move is just truly is amazing. It's the most cheesiest move in the series, I'll tell you that. But just like the voice acting is just really good. Like I love Sly's dark voice. I love this type of thing he's got going on. If you compare his voice right now to Sly 4, it makes Sly 4 look like a joke. It truly does. And itself, like Murray. Let's talk about Murray. Murray used to be the little in Sly 1. Murray was scared in Sly 1. It basically just the car driver. Basically, you know, the lab rat, I guess you could say. Like he was basically the driver of the van and that type of thing, the weakling, I guess you could say, out of all of them, even compared to Bentley. Now that's tough. But in this game, oh boy, he's the most cheesiest character you find. Literally 2 hits and the guards are dead. Like it don't matter, the flashlight guards even. Like it's crazy how overpowered he is. Like 2 hits and you're dead. Like 1 hit you get knocked out and you hear the little kabooms and the wax signs. Comic book art style right there. You got to love it. And just Murray's voice actor compared to the last one is just true. It's way better. Murray's character itself is just way better. It sucks that they nerfed him in the other games, you know, a little bit, and didn't make him 2 hits throughout the entire series. But man, was he good and cheesy in this one. He truly was cheesy. The levels are way longer than in Sly 1. That's what you gotta love about it. Like, the game is just way longer. The game is just way harder in itself. Platinum's not that bad to get. I got the platinum throughout the entire series, but it's not that hard to get in this one. Honestly, this is a game that you literally play, then you play like a year later, and you play each and every year. That's nostalgia. It definitely brings you back to it. And just if you play it for the first time, just it being a good game brings it back to you. What's crazy about this is Ratchet and Clank, the reboot game version. That I can't believe how many games they have, but that got an 87 or something like that on Magic Tool. Sly 2 did better than it. It got an 88. If you look at Ghost of Tsushima, which I hope wins Game of the Year, that got an 83. Guess what? Sly 2, 10 years earlier, more than that, got an 88 and did better on it. If you look at Crash 4, It's About Time, it got an 86. It literally lost to Sly by 2. Like, this is how good the game still holds up, ladies and gentlemen. If this game is beating out Ghost of Tsushima, Crash 4, Ratchet and Clank, and all games 10 years later, that's when you know it's a game that you gotta play and you gotta try out. It truly is a great game. And just, Sly has way more moves. Sly is just athletic freak in this game. Sly Cooper's a franchise is basically platforming and stealth. But he is definitely athletic. Like, if you looked at Ratchet's a little bit athletic. Jack, I guess, is kind of athletic, but not. But I would definitely say that my man Sly Cooper can do flips for days. Like, look at this man. And just, I think, I'll give it this. The combat is it's way better than the first one, but the combat throughout the entire series is truly solid and it's better than you expect from literally a cartoon raccoon. As we're going into this mission right now, there's reconnaissance photos each and every level for the most part. It's cool because it gives you like to know the boss a little bit. It gives you a projective of what you're dealing with. And just, it's really cool, and I just love taking pictures of Dimitri over here looking like a thug lizard. Look, and then, by the way, each clockwork part for the owl is literally, each member has that part. Like, the parts are super powerful. Dimitri, this man is literally a fraud, basically as a thief. He's literally using the clockwork parts as printing plates in this first level. As you can see, you literally take pictures. You can take pictures any other way. Like, this game was before its time, in my opinion. But Sly Cooper, he has a little bit of a code, I guess you could say. I don't know, it's kind of like Batman, kinda, with him not killing. But, like, Sly Cooper only steals from other thieves. Like, he steals, right? He's a thief, but he only steals from other thieves. Because thieving, in his eye, is the family business. He doesn't steal from your well-known homeless or other people like that. He steals from thieves, and thieves only, to prove that he's the ultimate thief and the better thief. That's what you gotta like about Sly Cooper. He's stealing from other thieves, other people that are doing a harder job than what he is. Like, look, my man Dimitri literally has guards surrounded all around the town in Paris. Like, it truly is. The music and the theme in this first level, it truly is good. I love it. The theme is amazing, and the Dimitri's theme song and nightclub theme song truly is probably the greatest Sly Cooper theme song of all time. Like it's just so amazing. You gotta love it. Like if I would recommend the one game you can play out of Sly Cooper franchise to start it off, I would definitely say Sly 2, 100%. And it's crazy because like Bentley, my man Bentley, is literally in this right now. Like, oh yeah, each character gets power-ups. I know, as I said, Sly does. Bentley gets power-ups too. I would definitely say like Sly's like the athletic one. Murray's the overpowered one. Hit people. You don't even need to buy power-ups for Murray. You can basically just use him on him. And Sly Cooper, sometimes I guess you need power-ups to try, especially that cheesy one in level 3. Bentley is also cheesy in his own way, but he's also the nerd and the smart one out of the group. So he's definitely the most, not the strongest. You know, I would definitely say Sly is the most fun to play with, especially in this game. In my opinion, the re-checkpoints in this, they're from the PS2 era, so they're not going to be good / perfect, but like, if you take these checkpoints and compare it to Jak 1, Jak 2, that type of thing, I feel like they're just way better. Sly's primarily colored throughout his entire things, that type of thing. The game is so colorful, you gotta love it. His like primary color is blue, Bentley's primary color is green, and Murray's primary color is like pink. It's just, you gotta love it, like, there's just so much nostalgia to it. Like, I wanna love video games as much if it wasn't for Sly Cooper, because like, I play a game like Ghost of Tsushima or God of War, that type of thing. There's a lot of stuff to it, and especially if you're like me and try to get platinums, and just, the game's fun. It's probably way more like funner when it comes to combat, but like, this game just brings it easy. It's like simple, it's easy, it has a little bit of a challenge to it. It's a little bit frustrating, it's a video game, but like, it's just truly really simple. Like, there's not that much, like, there's some stuff to it, but like Bentley has his own missions, Murray has his own missions, Sly has his own missions. Sly, I would definitely say Sly is the most fun to play with, as I said. Then it would probably be the Murray, and then Bentley. Bentley is like the demolition expert. He can literally place bombs, literally shoot arrows out of his thing. Why I think Sly is literally a better character than like Ratchet and Jak and that type of thing is literally because just I played the Ratchet and Clank game, my first Ratchet and Clank game, and just Ratchet was a little bit cringy. The movie didn't do well, that he just looked a little bit cringy. I guess it's because I'm a Sly Cooper fan and I played those games first, and you know, just, and I got a feeling inside that like, I don't want them to be better than Sly Cooper, and I don't think they're better than Sly Cooper, but like, I truly don't think that. Like, I truly don't think they're better. Like, it truly doesn't make me mad that some of Ratchet's games are literally ranked higher than Sly Cooper, and that my man has about 15 games, and Sly only has 4. And it sucks that he got a movie and Sly didn't. You know, and just that type of thing. It just really ticks me off, because like, Sly is so disrespected, in my opinion. He truly is. Like, he's the most disrespected franchise. Probably next to Jak and Daxter, he's the most disrespected franchise. Ratchet is probably one of the most overrated franchises, in my opinion. Like, the only reason I say that though is because Sly Cooper is just so underrated. And there's missions where you can tell the boss, and where you basically look at his surroundings and that type of thing. Basically, like Sly Cooper's not known for his stealth, just like Assassin's Creed. He's the stealth type of franchise, but he's most known for his platforming. And I feel like platforming is just not as it used to be. Like, if you look at Mario, you know, that type of thing, platforming was up to its peak. Platforming is not really as it used to be right now, and platforming is one of my favorite genres, and not my favorite genre. It's like, it's just so disrespected. It truly is, and this mission is just truly awesome. Like, you tell the boss, you truly do just tell the boss. You could literally like go different ways to try to get to the spot he has to get. The levels are just way longer, and sometimes it gets a little bit hard. And just it's so easy to get to stuff. Like, if you look at Jak 2 and its racing thing and the way you can drive cars, that's a good element. To me, it was just so confusing trying to get to the places I need to get. You know, and this is just so simple. Really, the music with Dimitri. Really,
Kinetic, aesthetic. Make art. Breathe art. Hear art. Be art. Yay, yay, yay. Make art. Be art. Got to keep it smooth. Smooth. Keep it smooth, baby.
literally the words, literally the let me shine on you. Like, I love this boss. He's one of my favorites. Like, honestly, I don't even love him just because he's like a good boss. I love him because he's like funny. He's like a funny boss, and literally, like, you just gotta love it. Like, look at that flashlight guard. Like, there's different types of guards for different areas. You're in different like places. Like, for this first level, you're in Paris, and like Paris is such a great city to develop. And Sly is actually part of Paris. Like, he's basically Paris. Like, that's where he lives in. That's his hometown, I guess you could, or country, I guess you could say, or that type of thing. Just the aesthetics, the background of the levels, the cars, literally the flags, and just how Sucker Punch literally like goes through each and every like countries and cities and that type of thing. It truly is amusing what they can do with the art style for each one. The climbing elements in this is really good. And like, when you complete the level and beat it and do the other missions, actually you have to compete a boss. You basically have to fight. You fight Dimitri, and just look at the way this is set up. This truly is amazing. Like, it truly is. It's like a little heist going on at the end of it. Literally, you have to shoot Sly at the thing. You have to catch it, of course. You have to catch the thing right there. You have to catch it, of course, right there. You have to catch it, then you ride down and slide down. Like, look at that athletic ability, man! Don't disrespect the thief from the east. And really, you just try to protect the truck. And this really is truly fun. It's pretty simple, but it truly is fun. But it builds on the narrative, and it builds on going to fight Dimitri. Like, look, every mission matters to this point. You're about to see, when you are done protecting the truck, literally, you are about to see why every mission matters. And why you need to protect this truck, and why you need to do the other stuff to get to this point, and why it truly does matter. Like, the only way to get to Dimitri is to knock off this thing and basically destroy the little water support thing right there and get through the tunnel. And you can't do that while doing the other missions. Like, that's how realistic and how, for the most part, missions in this game are pretty dang fun. Like, you gotta love it. And just the cutscenes to, like, look, you gotta love it. Like, if you look at, like, the fighting, the boss come in it, like, the boss, how you fight the boss, I guess you could say for Sly 1 throughout Sly 2. As I said, Sly 2 is just so completely different, but, like, Sly 1 is a little bit of puzzly, kind of like Crash Bandicoot / Jack and Daxter. And this one, it just does its own thing. Like, bosses, of course, don't take one hit, they have health bars. Sly uses his cane, and there's literally more thaw-out area. There's, like, you can move around more. And just, these lines are just so iconic. With Dimitri saying cracker bots to Sly Cooper, literally just, I love Dimitri, I truly do. He's not really a good, like, boss when it comes to, like, his entire plan, but, like, he's a genius for the most part, because he's using the clockwork parts as printing plates. Like, that truly is just good. Like, you gotta love it. Like, he uses the clockwork parts as printing plates to make money. Like, some of us would want. And look, he says, "What is this with Crossbow? Have you no vision? Are you hearing what I mean to you? You think you got the juice? Don't show me a little mind talking about such big things. You think you can swing the bat? Show you a bling and let me shine." And Sly's like, "I have no idea what you're saying, and you
no
suit
idea
sucks."
what you're saying.
Like, you gotta love it.
Suit
Like,
sucks.
it's funny. Like, it's like everyone 10 plus. Like, it's not like teen like Jack and Daxter or anything. It's a kid friendly type of game, but there's some dark stuff in it for a 10 plus kid friendly game. You don't really see that stuff for Ratchet and Clank. Like, what I really think Sly 4 really didn't do well, it didn't really build up with their younger audience to their bigger audience, because people who were young who played the game are going to be older who played Sly 4, and they really didn't change anything up. And that game was just goofy for its other part, but let's not get into that. But, like, look, Dimitri's boss battle is pretty solid. I like it. I mean, it's not really that hard, but my man's got laser beam. Dimitri was a heck of a boss battle. I truly do. It's so much. It took me a few times as a kid to beat him. It was because I was a kid, but, like, it truly is kind of easy now. But, like, it truly is pretty dang fun. Like, look at my man. My man got speed. He's got laser beam, like, and just his entire, like, we're in this area, the battleground, literally where you took the pictures. You're basically there now. You actually get to see it and kind of see what's going on. And basically, when you take pictures in almost every level, you basically, like, almost all the time, if not, sometimes you fight that boss in that level. You basically get to, you know, kind of see it out a little bit more, not just take pictures of it, I guess you could say. And, like, It truly is like, look at that move, like, and just Dimitri gets bodied, and the thing gets popped back out.
You take clockwork feathers and my counterfeit in operation. It's past tense.
I'm doing you a favor. What kind of thief prints money? There's no honor in that.
You crackerbox!
And Dimitri is now done for. And we're going on to the second level, and the second boss. And the man who I think is way more evil than Dimitri, and I like more than Dimitri. Don't like more, but I think he's a better boss than Dimitri, Rajan. And now we're opening to the second level, which is like set up in like type of India type of thing. Before I talk about the bosses and that type of thing, we gotta talk about this scene. Carmelita, I haven't touched on her yet, but she's basically the love interest to Sly Cooper. She's a cop, so she's basically working on the other side of the law with Sly Cooper. And in this, she doesn't know it's Sly Cooper. And like, you gotta love this dance scene, like you truly do. And at the end of the first game, he basically steals a little kiss from her, and I thought that was really touching. And in this game, he basically just gets to dance with her, and just basically gets to like, look at his moves. My man can dance. And look at Rajan. Rajan doesn't even know what's going on. Like, what's funny about this is Rajan and Dimitri, it basically took one level, you know, to battle him and beat him, how in the other games. But in this one, you actually get 2 levels with Rajan. I guess you could say to learn more about the character, because in the first games you really didn't know that much. You knew a little bit about the bosses, but you didn't really touch on them like you do in this game. And with Dimitri, it was a one-time thing. In this game, you're going to touch on Rajan in 2 levels. My man, at the end of this level, is about to get away, but you still are going to steal the main parts of this level, which is the clockwork wings that I have stored in the back that my man Murray's cutting down with the saw, which you need to get by doing another mission with the elephants, which, as I said, each and every mission matters. And literally, this dance is just iconic itself. It truly is probably my favorite level, and this second level of this game. It's amazing. And by the way, each like mission has like a little like type of theme to it. At least in Bentley's eyes, it has like a little name to it. Like it's called like the Operation Hippo Drop. Bentley basically comes up with a name. Each and every mission, at the end of it, there's like one final mission impossible type of thing going on, and it's usually called Operation, and it has like a pretty dope / funny name to it at the end. I really find that pretty funny. This at the end of this, I get it's okay. You know, you basically have to use this new gadget of Bentley. He has a lot of gadgets, I guess you could say, and it's the RC car with a little mini helicopter you control. I think it's pretty dope. It's pretty solid, but I think it's not the best ending. I mean, like ending to a level, I guess you could say. But like, as you can see, there's no boss. As I said, the Rajan's gonna get another level, and that's where you basically try to end and fight Rajan. Murray has to carry out the clockwork parts. As you can see on his back, carrying it like a champ. You have to control that IRC car, which drops bombs, which is not that hard to control. It's pretty self-explanatory, and literally it's pretty simple, I guess you could say. But what really holds this final mission to me, like at the start, you have to basically bomb the bridge with Bentley. Forgot to explain that, but like that, I thought that was pretty dope. But what really holds this mission truly is literally the dance with Carmelita. That this mission is awesome. So it truly does. It makes the relationship between Carmelita and Sly better as new age of outlaws. I guess you could say. It makes it more tighter. And literally, there's a mission job complete type of thing at each end, and there's a book opening. It really does. It's really good. On 17%, like it's not like as I said, it's a longer game. I think you literally in the last level, if you completed like 2 levels, you already had like 30-40% of the game done. That's how short it was. And look, my man Rajan is literally escaping, and that's the start of the new level, another Rajan level. And just the comic art style just really amuses me. It truly does. In this game, I forgot to explain this, but in this game, there's more cops than just Carmelita chasing you. There's called Neela, and Neela honestly is the most interesting boss cop in this game. Way more even interesting than Carmelita, but I guess we're gonna explore that more on Rajan Episode 3. The Predator awaits. This level truly is amazing. When it comes to visual art style, compared to the first 2 levels, I don't like it better than them. but like you actually get to fight Rajan, which I think is pretty dope. And the way you fight Rajan, I think is pretty dope. The missions in this level are really cool. I really like this level. And the first level in Paris, you Neela, the little girl, Cop Tiger, basically Carmelita's partner, I guess you could say. You basically chase her, and she kind of leads you away. Like, it's crazy because like I forgot to explain this. That's my bad. Neela literally helps you in the first level. In the second level, she's nowhere to be found. In this level, she literally helps you in a good way. But the ender will hurt you a little bit. It's crazy how dark this game is for kids 10 plus. Is like for Jack and Daxter, it was teen. You kind of expect it to be a little bit dark, but for this being 10 plus and not even in the teens, it is way darker than you would expect. The levels, as I said, are really cool, amazing. The bottles, this is definitely the hardest. Like each level probably even each level for the most part gets harder with the bottles. And this level is the cheesy level. If you get all the bottles, which I do recommend for this level, you get the overpowered move where you basically your chain lights up as lightning and you basically kill the guards in one hit. Overpowered. It's literally even more overpowered than Murray. It truly is. Like, it's definitely the best gadget. It's probably the best gadget in the series, honestly. It truly is. And it truly took me a little bit forever. Like, it truly does. There's literally snakes. Like, there's kind of different types of guards. Like, this level's a little bit scary, I guess you could say, if you're like some people. If you saw a snake coming out, you're like, whoa, what the heck did this? Like, this came out of nowhere. It's gonna spook you a little bit. And as you see, in the first level, you had a reconnaissance photos work. In this level, it's gonna be the same. But this one's honestly probably the best one so far. Definitely way better than the first two because you actually have to get to it. Like you don't just start off taking pictures, kind of like you did for the first two levels. You basically have to find a way to get to it, and you basically get a little bit of a platforming going on. And just snakes, guards popping up, just water. The view, the art of this game, it truly is amazing. And coins, they're balanced pretty good in this game. And last game, you had to get 100 to basically get another life, a horseshoe, kind of like Mario, Jack and Daxter, that type of thing. But in this game, you already get as many coins as you want. And there's a thing each level that you get that basically helps you get the coins. And basically, like, you have to return to the safe house without getting hit. And the safe house is like a Superman logo. If you press the L3 button, it shows up on your thing. As I said, this game is really simple. It's not hard. That's what's fun about it, in my opinion. It's really simple. It's not dumb, I guess you could say. You know, and just, it really, like, if you return it, you get lots of coins. And, like, if you try to get all the gadgets, those coins definitely do help. And if you try to get those, there's 3 each level. 3 different places. They're well known, hidden out. They're definitely worth it. Especially if you're trying to get it. Like, that is way more easier than just breaking stuff and getting coins. And there's, in the main button that you do for the control is to literally jump and press the circle button. And literally Bentley tells you in the nerdiest way ever, I guess you'd say. But look, you slide on this. Like, you don't walk, you just slide. Like, it's all watery. Like, they really changed the landscape of this game. They truly did. And just, you go in this now you're taking pictures of Rajan. And Rajan, this part's actually interesting because now the little clockwork part you're getting for this one is the heart. Now they say that the heart is the most overpowered one, but what's funny about it is literally Rajan's holding half of the heart, and literally the other heart's literally up there. Like, if you're gonna find out when you do missions, as I said, every mission matters. You're gonna find the heart. You're basically gonna get half of the heart, then near the end you're gonna try to get the other half of the heart, so you basically get one clockwork part early, and it's just not, you don't wait to the end, you know. And just I feel like that's really cool because it shows that, like, you're not just gonna wait like until the end to get everything. You can get some stuff right now, so you basically get half of the heart and a couple missions, then you get the rest of the heart basically at the end of the mission. I feel like that's really, really cool. And just, Neela's going to help you out yet again in like a little race trial type of thing where you basically have to follow her. And of course, Bentley with his little, slides. You gotta love it. But she's going to help you out with that. You gotta follow her. She's going to lead you to another thing that leads you to get in that half of the heart. And basically, Rajan, by the way, there's another little mission where you get to kind of tag the boss, but it's not really tagging. Rajan's going to come out for one mission. and you basically have to get his blueprints for Bentley, and you play as Bentley. And Bentley's really truly fun to play with, but you basically just get his blueprints. You basically have to eat him, make him eat 3 watermelons, and basically him go to sleep, and you get it. It might be hard sometimes because you basically gotta aim, and you basically gotta get it towards there. And like, there's a mission scattered around. You can pick who you want to play as. Like, it truly is amazing. Like, you can basically play as Sly later and pick Bentley and Murray to play as right now. Like, it doesn't like follow in a step where you have to play as one person. They make you decide. Of course, you have to play as that person other time no matter what, but you basically decide who you want to play as first. Like, it truly is. The music is just amazing in this level. It was for the second Rajan level too, but the music truly is good for this one. It truly is good. But when you follow Neela, she's gonna lead you towards another level. That's when you're gonna do that mission, which is super fun. And you're gonna get the heart, half of the heart actually. But then a couple missions later, where Bentley basically shooting a little out of a helicopter, and a little Mission Impossible explosive thing that Sly has to basically get on and blow up the entire balcony since Rajan went into hiding. And you're fighting Rajan. As soon as you get there, it's crazy because Rajan's gonna actually lightning Sly Cooper, and Sly Cooper is gonna fall on the ground and basically be lights out for a couple minutes, and guess who's going to try to come and save the day? Who's going to come and save the day is Murray. Murray, you actually get to play as other characters in boss fights in this game. And Murray is for this one, because Murray really, it truly does something different, because in the first game, and for the first 2 levels, or first level I guess I should say, in this one, like, it just makes you play as Sly in the boss fights and that type of thing. But in this one, you play as Murray. Murray saves the day. And what's crazy is Neela betrays you at the end and basically turns you into custody because she was a cop and she basically just screwed you over. And what's crazy is she screwed over Carmelita and made her get arrested too. And you get half of the heart at the end that Murray tries to hide. I'm not sure how that works out. But what's crazy, what changes the entire aspect of it, once again, like, they went from changing another aspect of playing as Murray for the first time in a boss fight. And another crazy aspect is Bentley doesn't get arrested. Bentley now has to save the day. Bentley has to save the day for the 4th boss, and that's when you basically have to turn it into a little bit of a jailbreak time. That's when Bentley has to save his best friends, Murray and Sly, in the 4th level. You battle a spider. What's so great and special about this episode, one of my favorite episodes in the game, is Bentley. As you see, when you left off from episode 3, Neela betrayed you. She betrays Carmelita, your love interest. Murray saves the day, but he gets arrested. So does Sly. But what's so special about this is Bentley saves the day in this episode. Basically, for the first couple of levels, you would play as Bentley, do some missions there, and actually they introduced the hacking thing. As I said, there's a lot of stuff introduced in this game. They're introducing the hacking thing, which is Bentley's top thing. He's a nerd. He's great at hacking and that type of thing. And honestly, now that I think about it, I know I'm not giving Sly 4 a lot of credit, but I actually think that they really touch on the hacking really great in that game. And in this game, it's a good way to introduce it, but it's definitely not the best. I feel like each game improves with the hacking. But it's basically just basic hacking, I guess you could say. But it's kind of fun. It's a new feeling, especially with Bentley. But yeah, literally, what's different also is Bentley tells, the Contessa, the boss of this level, basically a cop, the chief of this entire thing, I guess you could say, he tells her, taking pictures of her. Usually it's Sly. And it's crazy, because, like, Bentley basically saves the day in this episode. This episode is all about Bentley. In last episode, the near end, it was basically all about Murray. He saved the day. In this episode, it's Bentley's turn. I love what this game does, sharing the characters and getting the characters involved and basically having their moments. Besides moments, in the last game, that really didn't happen. Maybe a little bits and parts, but they didn't really show an impact like they do in this game. There's some really great missions, top of the notch missions, definitely one of the best missions in this game. Literally, the Contessa is such a great boss. Contessa is one of my favorite bosses in this game, no doubt. She is such a great boss. She literally, her entire scheme of it, her game plan, is at the end of the day, you have 2 episodes with her, episode 4 and episode 5. She ends up working with the Crawl Gang. Yes, a chief of Interpol working with the Claw Gang. And it was crazy as they have this entire game plan going on. The Claw Gang does. As you find out in later episodes, but literally, it's crazy how the story is well thought out, it's well good, and how Claudine, how they all, when they do the bad stuff, they all do it in a good way to proceed to their genius plan, and to basically take out Paris at the end. Like, it's just truly really good, and the Cooper game is thievery, and they have to stop it, and they have to stop Clockwork from being assembled. It truly is good. There's some great missions in there. There's even one scene where you do a few hack missions, and you basically end up breaking Sly out with a freaking train. And basically, Sly and Bentley have a little catch-up on the conversation they had to start the game.
Wow. You've
But this
really
time,
thought of
Sly
everything.
actually acknowledges Bentley
Yeah,
as that.
you do.
It's basically showing the
Thanks for
character
busting me
development
out.
and showing that Sly really cared, and Sly doesn't take it as a joke as it was in the first to start the game. Iconic way that was.
Truer words were
Yeah, this is
never
Bentley's
said,
episode, basically.
wizard.
Really great episode. Murray, you only play as Murray once or twice in this level. You don't really pick him up and get him at the end. The animation at the end of this level is just truly amazing. You don't do a boss fight in this level because she has a second level, which I'll get to. But this level is just truly amazing. One of the best levels in this game, no doubt. And you end up saving Murray. He basically was on drugs. Like, for a 10+ game, this is really deep. Spices got into his nerve. And he was basically going crazy. And you basically had to do a Mission Impossible plan to try to save your best friend. And what's crazy, Murray let Bentley at the end of the level, at the end of the animation, drive the van, basically. You've never seen that before also, especially in animation. And it's crazy because Bentley talks over at the end. Usually it's Sly. They let Bentley shine in that category too. Like, this episode's basically all about Bentley. It's really insane. At the end of the episode, the Contessa ends up getting away. You basically have to battle her in the next episode, in episode 5, which she gets away. What's crazy about it, also, this episode's pretty solid. I love this episode. This episode's okay. It's also another thing I got to mention. Episode 4 and episode 5 have a great Halloween vibe, type of scary feeling that you would find. The music's pure awesomeness. The guards, as I said, are unique in their own category, in their own way. Episode 5 really does it, though. I don't know if episode 5 is better than episode 4 just because the way they made Bentley shine, but episode 5 indeed is pretty solid. You start off the episode, the entire game's back, they look to stop the Contessa. Neela basically is in this episode too. She finally makes her return. She's basically on the side of you where you're in your hideout. She's basically across the street from you. What's crazy to me, in the entire series, they never really find the hideout other than episode 3. It's interesting, honestly, it truly is. You do a couple of ghostly missions, scary missions. Truly, it's great platforming. As I said, this is the level also where Sly, one of Sly's best thief moves that you can buy and what you need to buy in this game to succeed and play throughout the entire game. By the way, they make you buy stuff. Some stuff, like 2 things you actually have to buy in this game. And one of them is the paraglider. This paraglider is so cheesy and so good, you have got to love it. But it's probably the most iconic Sly Cooper thing you can get out of ThiefNet. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the episode, Neela ends up basically, the Clockwork Eyes are basically the main thing in this episode. Last episode, I forget, I don't really think it was a thing. I think you literally just had to save the gang, which changes great pacing. I guess each episode's not really about, you know, getting a clockwork part, I guess you could say, to try to stop it. But in this episode, you're going after the eyes. You're going after the eyes, the Contessa, basically kind of Neela. Literally, Carmelita's on the loose following you at the end of the episode. She's hunted by the law because she's trapped in this episode. And you basically have to break her out, and there's some funny lines between Sly and Bentley in this episode. But then you get to one of the missions which I truly hate, and is one of the most difficult and stupid missions in this game, if not the most. The tank mission. What were they thinking with this? A PS2 era game. What are you thinking? The tank is so hard to control. And you have to use it as Murray, of course, but it's literally so hard to control. You have to take out a couple tanks. It takes only a couple shots. It is so hard to control. Thank gosh, it's kind of overpowered though a little bit, but it's so hard to control. It's so... Oh, I hate the tank mission. And what sucks about this, at the end, the final Mission Impossible operation of it, because there's each one in every level, you have to use the tank again. Once again, what were they thinking? I hate this tank. It would be fun if they had the controls be good, but they didn't. But it's a PS2 game, we maybe have to give it a pass. They introduce keys you have to collect in this game, which come in handy, which are pretty skill and pretty chill. And there's some Easter eggs you find in this game. There's a rocket, which Sucker Punch is first on the Nintendo. Basically, their first thing after before Sly Cooper. There's a little grave site that you find that basically say "Rip Rocket." That's really cool. That's a cool, neat Easter egg that Sucker Punch really did for a PS2 game. Yeah, you'll find Easter eggs in this level. The eyes, you get one of the. It's crazy is because Neela is actually working for a call game. Basically, she betrayed. I'm not gonna get to that yet, but she betrayed. So far, as you count it up, she betrayed Sly Cooper, the gang, Carmelita, Constable, the Spider, the boss. Basically, she betrays her. She betrays a lot of people in this game. That's why I like her so much. You don't trust her. She's not a person to trust. She is not a person to trust. She ends up trying to go after the eye after you free Carmelita. She ends up trying to go after the eye. That you basically have to chase her. Basically, for the first level and the third level, it's basically like that. But this time, you're not chasing her for good. You're chasing her for bad to get the eye back. It's interesting. You basically get her stuck in a web, but she's not dead. You basically don't finish her off of that. She's still in the next couple levels in this game. Then you get to the boss fight. Actually, there's 2 boss fights in this one. You have to battle her 2 times. The first time is pretty chill, simple, just her using her basic attack moves, that type of thing. Second time, though, she uses the eyes. You end up beating her at the end, but the eyes, as I said, they're okay. I mean, they can get you, but like they're really not that simple. She lays spider eggs. She's a neat little boss. I like her. She really is evil. And what's crazy is, like, in the last episode, she literally, basically, they didn't confirm this, but her husband, the general that she married, died a few weeks later. And my guess, I think you already know what I'm thinking from this, but my guess is that she's kind of a gold digger. She's a crazy woman, manipulative. She's a genius, but she's evil. But this level is truly, I like this level. This level is pretty solid. You end up beating her at the end, stealing the eye back. But what's also crazy is Carmelita, the person you free, gets in a tank, and that's when you have to drive the tank in, an annoying tank that we all hate. And she steals the eye because she literally shoots down the blimp that Billy is in, and that was such a great scene. But you basically use, in a hard way, you get her, you steal the eye back. Basically, that's the end of it. Iconic thing plays. You basically help Carmelita get out, and I thought that was pretty cool and pretty cute. But you destroy that boss. On to the next one, episode 6. You're now in Canada. You're out of your first time, you're in Canada. John Bisson is our next target in line, and he's part of the 12 game. Now, what's crazy and so unique about John Bisson? What's such a unique boss? This man got frozen, was alive 200 something years. He basically fought out of ice and is back and was evil. That is super interesting because this man is basically 200 years old when he's alive. That is so unique and that is so good. And literally the music in that year in Canada, and literally the art style in this level, it truly is amazing. Especially the music, especially in the 2 parts. Because once again, for this boss, you would get 2 parts. But what's crazy about this is there's 3 parts you're going to be looking for in this level. 3 clockwork parts. They're all 3 have to do with the organs, the stomach, that type of thing. There's 3 of them. They're all in trains. What's crazy is you're going to not earn them all at the end. You're going to earn them bits in the middle. By 1, 2 in the middle. And of course the 3rd one in the operation at the end. This art style is just so unique. The models are pretty simple in this level. They're a little bit hard, but the guards are unique. I like the guards. The ice thing. Oh, I love the ice in this game. I love how this game is really realistic at the end of the day. I love the ice. I love the winter setting a little bit. I just love this. Like, I love the fact that you're trying to take out a man who's literally been frozen for 200 years. And there's bears. There's other kind of bad. There's literally a bear that can attack you. Like, it's crazy what they can do with the world of Sly Cooper, man. It's crazy. But basically you do missions. They're pretty fun. They're pretty solid. I like them. They're definitely nothing retarded like the tank mission in this one, really. And you basically get each part in the middle of the things. Oh yeah, it introduces the fact that Sly basically launches in the air, uses his parachute, and is basically flying in the air, and I thought that was pretty fun. You literally basically have to land on the tank. There's climbing, different types of climb come in, different types of thing like that. You climb on ropes. There's literally, like, the things you get to buy from Thief now are really thought out good. But basically you do each level, each mission. You basically, Carmelita is out on this one. You basically have to watch out for her too. That's another category to the thing. She literally traps Murray because my man Murray was looking for a snack, but Carmelita gave him some jelly beans, so he's all good. But you basically have to steal a couple keys from her, sneak behind her. What's crazy is each time you steal a key, she literally turns back and goes to you. And she basically chases. You basically have to go 2 miles before you can even get the second key / the third key. And I love the animation when you get the stuff, but like the keys and stuff like that. But basically, you free Murray. I thought that was pretty interesting. That's a mission definitely to announce. You basically just play out the entire level, do the same type of things that you got from the previous levels, and man, that mission's so fun. But then after that, you don't battle John Bisson. The final operation is really dope in itself. It really is dope. I think in either this level or the next level, you literally say bears. You basically throw them in a thing, in a crazy mama bear. It's in this level, a crazy mama bear. And basically literally attacks and saves his cubs. I thought that was pretty neat and pretty chill. There's literally different types of guards in the ground. There's literally things you have to watch out. This level design just truly is amazing. At the end of it though, operation is just all the operations I love. Mission Impossible type thing that you got going on. You basically you already got 2 parts in the middle of the levels. And the third time you're aiming for the third part. My man Murray's so strong though. He's literally pedaling and pedaling and pedaling and pedaling. And literally he is that strong. He literally gets to the train. The RC car is used once again in this level. I'm not sure if I mentioned last level, but the RC car was introduced. Actually, I did. But the RC car is used once again in this level. There's new, different things added to an RC car than just shooting. You can drop stuff. This mission on the plane with the RC car, we have to use it a couple times. In my opinion, it was really hard for me. Especially at the age I was when I tried to beat this game. It would get you sometimes, man. But Neela kind of comes back in a certain way. You have to battle Neela 2 times in a plane. Literally use the RC car, a little tiny helicopter destroyed like a plane. You know, plot purposes, but let's not get to it. But I thought this was just amazing. Like her bosses, and you basically get used to the things that she uses to try to go against you because you went through them in the previous levels. I mean the previous missions, my bad. Like, you know, you basically destroy her. She says she's not done with you. She's still coming to get you, that type of thing. John Bisson is on the train. He's watching you. But he's not that big of a part of you. You should easily escape from him. He's perfectly fine in that category. Then you get to the little third and final heartbeat in the thing. The little third and final clockwork part. Not yet. Because, as I said, you have to battle Neela again. And this time she goes on the ground. You have to drop bombs. You basically have to wait on Billy to destroy her. And what's crazy is after Billy destroys his RC car, I believe, goes in the train, it stops it, literally, it basically gets destroyed. I thought that sucked. I don't think there's no more use in the RC car throughout the entire game. But at the end of the day, Sly gets the final part. And there's a funny line in this where he says, "Come in, little friends," because that's what Neela said. I thought that was pretty funny. As I said, comedy is really good, especially for a 10+ game at my age. But I love the percentages when you beat the thing, but beat the missions. They go up pretty solid. As I said, this game is way longer than the first one. But I love how in this animation slides, like, we walked away with 3 parts. I thought that was truly amazing, because you earn them in the later missions, and you don't, like, as I said, for the first couple missions, you just earn the thing at the end. That, for the most part. And, you know, Sly and Carmelita doing their things. Carmelita's still on the loose. As I said, Neela got promoted to chief now. Neela's the bat stabber. Sly's being 40 than ever. Now you're on the second level with John Bisson, and it's the fountains. It's the little things that are really probably the most overpowered part of Clockwork. It can chop wood like butter. John Bisson's using them, pure geniusness. This level design truly is amazing. Like, the climbing element is really good. Same type of thing, same missions. Some missions just different up. Just literally the little spinner thing where you have to take a picture. I thought that was different because you literally had to move, and basically it kind of times your reaction time. I thought that was pretty cool and pretty chill. Switches things up, and you take a picture of John Bisson. John Bisson is using the fountains, and what's crazy is you basically compete in a competition at the end of this level to basically destroy and actually beat John Bisson. And it's a couple of little mini games, but as I said, in this game, every mission matters until you get to the end. So you do missions, they're fun. Literally, Bentley's hacking missions are back. once again. There's literally a mammoth that's literally in this level that's been frozen for years that you free, but literally gets back in the water. And literally not even that long later. I thought that was funny. The music's dope in this game. As I said, for this level, the music's really cool. It truly is. Like, the bosses yet again are unique in their own part. And literally the bear literally demolishes everyone. Like, so does Carmelita, and the bear is so cheesy. But at the end of the day, you get to the competition. You have to buy the alarm clock, and you need the alarm clock real bit. But basically, the Cooper Game's plan for this is we need to cheat because John Bisson is overpowered. And this little RC car that you use, RC little truck, little mini tank that you use, it was pretty fun. It's pretty easy, simple. It's not really that hard. You should honestly get it in the first try. It's really not that hard. Every shot hits, it seems like, but you have the competition. At the end of it, you play as Murray to start it off, and you have to do a chop thing. The chopping the log is pretty fun. I love it. I like it. It truly is. It's pretty dang good. I like it. The chopping the log is pretty simple. Of course, you have to cheat though. In each little thing minigame, there's 3 of them. There's one for each character: Sly, Bentley, Murray. It's crazy. The thief net literally, all the coins literally go up and add up throughout the game. That's why you want to get the little things spread around each area. That's why you want to get them. They really do help out. In each level, they count more and count more and count more. That's why you want to get coins in this game too. That's why it adds up to the system at the end of the day. But like, there's a little great platforming thing with Sly. There's a little easy chopping log, and there's an easy thing with Bentley. And you literally have to knock out the guard and basically try to cheat for the first 2 levels. And as I said, if you fell, job failed. That's really iconic in this series. And like, at the end of it, what's so funny is literally at the end of it, you have to play as Bentley. As soon as you complete that, literally the game have a talk and said that we can't beat them. And Bentley says, ingenious. The plan that they came up with, they gotta cheat. As I said, you gotta buy the alarm clock if you didn't already. And you basically have to lure each guard, and each person would dress up as their guards and basically give John Bisson a low score at the end. But John Bisson ends up knocking them out. What's crazy about this is you're now getting ready to battle John Bisson. And there's some funny parts in this, man. It truly is. Bentley, I love Murray. But you battle John Bisson, and literally you play as Bentley once again for a boss fight against John Bisson. And they're pretty simple. This time, oh yeah, in the level where you basically saved the day, you actually didn't have a boss fight with him. So I guess this is really good to try to give him a chance as a boss fight. At the end of the day, in this game, the entire 3 trio all get a boss fight. Sly gets a couple, Murray gets 1, Bentley gets 1, but technically kind of 2 things because he got an entire level to shine and a boss fight. Murray just shined and got 1 boss fight. But it's all good. These characters are shared. Like, none of them are just overpowered or literally just like they won't even focus. They focus on all of them, or at least they try to in their best way. Like they truly do. And at the end of it, as soon as you beat John Bisson, you literally have a little racing thing. It's not hard. Of course, you're as Bentley, so it might be a little bit hard, but the gadgets for Bentley are just insane. There's literally one where you literally go that I do basically have to buy that literally boosts you. It's like a double jump package. It's not overpowered as Sly in the next level, but it's pretty solid and it's pretty good. It will help you. You know, especially for Billy, my man ain't got no hops. But basically, you get into the thing, you have to beat the time. As I said, it's pretty simple. Not too hard, not too shabby. Then you're on the final level. The gang ends up finding out, if I had said this already, Parpeggio, basically the main boss, which I'll get into. Yeah, he's interesting. But John Bisson basically sold all the parts for money. John Bisson basically just did it for money. It seemed like he sold all the parts. Literally, what's crazy is they literally lose everything they got to one character, and they basically have to battle out in one final level to earn it back. They lost all the parts that they worked hard with and that they worked for, and lost all of it in this final level, and lost it to Parpeggio. What's crazy is the team van literally floats away. Murray loses his heart and soul. He cries. Sly's ready for action. Bentley is coming up with plans. The entire game, they know this is the end game. For this game, they know this is the final. They know they got to do good. And just the nostalgia of me talking about this really brings me to and really brings me back. Truly is great. Now you're on the final level. This level, okay, let's talk about it. It's not the best. I mean, it's not the best final level. It's not the best. It's okay. It's one of the worst levels in the game of designed. But you're in the sky. I thought that was pretty cool. You're basically doing the missions and battling out in the sky. And basically, Parpeggio was such a waste of a villain. My man just dies, literally in the first couple missions. He died by Neela. Neela betrayed Parpeggio. Neela betrayed everyone. That's why you don't want to trust her. What's crazy is Sly literally tries to, because he literally finds out Clockwork has been assembled. And he literally finds that out, and literally Bentley comes up with a quote-unquote ingenious plan to try to, you know, do a mission and do a little thing to try to destroy the parts and not bring them back together. But at the end of it, it literally rounds them up and brings Clockwork back together. But Clockwork ain't really back together. He's like a robot. And Neela betrays them. You find out Neela is working for the entire game, the Claw game. And Neela jumps inside of it and becomes the final boss, Quatla. Okay, Quatla. Interesting. I don't think this is the best name for a character, but it's pretty simple, and they could have came up with something better, but I definitely like her being the last boss, and that type of thing of the game, because she's literally been there since the start. She's betrayed everyone. She's literally she worked her butt off to literally be in the body of Clockwork, and she earned it in that degree. And the missions in this are truly awesome. They all add up, as I said, all missions add up in this game. They truly do, for the most part. There's literally hacking things that make hacking easier. Literally, the bullets literally go sideways and literally just don't go straight, where you can literally damage stuff way easier, which is really cool. There's the spinners. You have to watch out where you're going in some places, because if you fall off, literally the entire thing is edge. Like, it's literally sky. If you fall off, you don't die, but you take hit damage. And literally, you do a couple. Bottles are pretty simple. They're kind of hard. Actually, bottles are a little bit hard in this level. They're one of the hardest. They're not the hardest, at least I don't think. But, like, they're definitely a little bit hard in this. Each gang gets a set of missions. You literally have to team up with Murray, which you've done a few times, especially with Sly. And it all adds up at the end of the day. And it all adds up. You basically are looking for Quatla. You want to destroy Quatla. You do the missions. The guards are actually kind of unique in this one. And what's crazy is, when you do the missions, you're at the final operation. You literally... You assemble Carmelita. You call Carmelita. She literally helps you. You literally have a little package, a little jumper pack that Sly has, that you have to jump on these large platform things. But the jumping is so fun, dude. I'm truly mad they didn't add that earlier in the game, and they only added that for that level. But that is truly amazing. You literally, same as last game, Carmelita helps you once again. You're at the final operation. Now, this operation, the battle Quatla, the first time is hard. It's probably, as a kid, and literally me even now, it's probably the hardest boss in the game, and it's the final. That's what it's supposed to do to you, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's super hard, but once you beat it, you're not done. Like, of course, Carmelita says you should have been a cop. You have great shooting. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Same with the jetpack incident as last game, I guess you could say. What's crazy is the entire gun kind of goes in pieces. Clockwork is a little bit destroyed. She has like 2 inches of health. You find out in you find that out in a minute. You basically have the little platform thing, and there's literally pieces of the little thing that you were on scattered around. And you basically have the platform and use your parachute basically to save the game. Just the game gets captured by Neela, and Bentley's just so funny. But like, like, it's so funny, man. But they get captured, and Sly basically has to save his gang out there, and he literally goes on there. They literally the things of Quatla, I guess I should say, literally has the little hideout of the Sly Cooper gang and Bentley and Murray. Literally, Sly, at the end, smashes Quatla/Clockwork, what you did in the first one. You beat it, but not yet. The entire thing goes down. You're in Paris, there's lasers, there's things scattered around. You know this, you're close to being in the end game. You play as Murray to open the thing, you play as Bentley to blow the thing up. Bentley ends up getting the chip, but what happens will shock you. My man Murray blames himself for this. They would go into depth in the comic books, especially in the next game. But Bentley can't walk. Bentley got paralyzed. F's in the chat. Bentley got paralyzed. He can't walk anymore. And what really, I think they really touch on this is, in the next level, they use his paralyzed thing as a key and as a bonus, and they use him to be better and more powerful. Just Bentley's a pure genius. But Quatla says one final line. She says, "You will never stop, Quatla." But the entire thing blows up. You have one final chip at the end. Carmelita comes down in her helicopter. After the incident, she wants to take it out on Neela. So Sly, being the gentleman, the man that he is, gives Carmelita the final chip and the last piece to Clockwork and anything, and Carmelita just smashes it. Just like that, Clockwork is gone. His piece is rot. He's gone. The thing you battled for the first 2 games is gone. It's finally dead. It's finally gone. What's crazy is Carmelita literally makes Sly Cooper's future and the rest of the Cooper's future good, and it's literally a cop on the other side of the law. That's what's crazy about it is. It wasn't even Sly. It was literally Carmelita, basically. You know, because she stepped on it. You know, it's hard to explain it technically about Sly, but you get what I mean. Carmelita basically ended it all with that. And Sly's such a great leader, man. This proves that he's a great leader. Literally, the team, the shape, Murray was crying, Bentley was, you know, and literally, they took off their gear. Sly said, we're not in the middle root of a fight. He let his team walk, and he basically took the blame for himself. And I didn't mention this, but when you free Carmelita and that type of thing and she helps you out, you help her out, Sly literally says she would owe her back, and she owes her in a different way by basically giving himself in, basically proving that she was innocent and that type of thing. What an out ending this was. It truly is. Sly is such a great leader. Literally, at the end of it, they talk, they literally show what they like, and literally, it's crazy because, like, they say, one of them, they say they like music, and literally it shows Sly literally stealing music, and it literally shows Carmelita listening to music, but it shows that they're different, but they're the same in a certain way. Carmelita pops in the champagne that she's been saving since this special occasion. What's crazy is the game that Bentley and Murray are, they basically left Sly a little present at the end, took out the guard, and basically Sly and Carmelita have been basically going around for hours and hours, and she didn't even recognize. Sly has the bottle in the end. He jumps in his parachute. Sly 2 Band of Thieves pops up. What a great ending that could have been, but I'm glad it wasn't. Carmelita at the end says, I'll find you, Cooper, in a sweet, nice way, and the game's over. Sucker Punch Production. What a great game this truly was. Whew. Now you get to see my face. Well, that was a lot of thinking, a lot of time, and just a lot of reasons, and just a lot of from my heart. I truly tried my best, and I hope you guys enjoyed. But as I said, Sly 2 is my favorite game of all time. It truly is. My favorite game of all time. It's not even close. Like, it's not even close. The nostalgia, the gameplay, the graphics, and literally it's just everything, man. It truly is, it's truly amazing. Like, it is. And, like, I just want to show why it's over. I just want to show why the franchise is just so disrespected, and just why there needs to be another game, and why there should be another game, and why Sly Cooper is the most overrated platformer and PlayStation mascot you'll find today. It truly is, man. That's the way I felt, and the way I felt for years. You know, it's kind of funny because, like, in my opinion, it seems like, why does Ratchet get a movie? Why does Ratchet get all this type of new game? My man Sly's over here, you know, just being disrespected. Jack and Daxter is probably the same way, man. If you're a Jack and Daxter fan, I feel for you. I truly do. But, like, thank you guys for watching. I truly do appreciate it. You know, it don't matter about the likes, the views. It just matters that it's out there and that the word is, you know, is there. And just, I truly do believe that. And, like, if you do enjoy this video, if you do, give it a like, subscribe, you know, share it, because that's what it's all about, man. And let me know what I could do better. As I said, I'm new to this, man. I'm only 13. You know, I'm new to this, so please give a comment, let's start a discussion. And, like, I truly do just thank you all, man. Thank you. And I didn't just do this on my own. I had help. Appreciate it, Rob. But it's my brother, man. But just thank you from the bottom of my heart, and just hope this gets out. And thank you, Savo. Truly do appreciate it, man. You changed a lot for me for the last couple of weeks. You truly have, and I just want to say thank you, and I hope you find this review good. And hopefully I can win, but I just want you to think just not an ordinary 13-year-old, and that, you know, I did something good for once. It seems like, but just thank you. Thank you all, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sabo. Link in his description to his YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching.